they can dissolve in that space. But still, I mean, the body has conditions. It's an instrument that has limitations to it, and so there is both the body, the physical body dimension, and there's also the infinite body, which is the space. So as you surrender the sensation that arises in your body to the space, you will find that there is ample room for that sensation to expand. Yeah. So yeah, I would say, first check your posture, and don't relate to that sensation with any resistance, and surrender it to the space. But I wouldn't make a psychological issue out of it, which is different from sleep, which is different from tiredness and sleep, because that's a different bodily sensation than a particular pain that you're having. Pain is exacerbated by our resistance. Even the labeling is a form of there is some resistance to the labeling, because we learn to label pain when we were young, ouch and so on, and our mother or father made a big deal. Oh my God, you cut your, So that's all of that is very subtle, but it's in there, even in the labeling. That's why I refer to bodily sensations rather than any other.
Mine is more on the emotional level, and it has to do with reacting on the emotions and patterns, and I guess what my mind tells me is that is better than truth. Even though I know truth and I know knowledge, I guess I get led by my feelings, and it's always been an issue for me in my life. So I guess what my question is, how do I stop doing it? Even like if somebody angers me and I have a feeling, I react because it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I'm very feeling driven.
So are you saying that responding to your emotions and giving your emotions their free rein makes you feel better?
Yeah.
So it works for you?
Well, not really. It's like a temporary feeling that my mind says is going to make me feel better.
Oh, so you're saying that living your emotions or giving your emotions the free rein you believe it might make you feel better.
Yeah.
You're not saying it does make you feel better and therefore it works.
Well, it makes me feel better in like a gratification, like a instant gratification.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm led to many decisions based off of my feelings. And then I have this other part of me that knows truth, because I've always been a truth seeker, but I don't go by knowledge. I go by almost like addiction.
Yeah.
Like I go by, you know, what is going to make me feel good in this moment?
Yeah, well, you
If
know,
it's hurting me.
it can't make you feel good in this moment and be hurting you. It's some sort of, it's, you're hoaxing yourself, a hoax, you know, you're hoaxing yourself, because you, if it's making you feel good, then you're happy. Okay? You know, there are a lot of dead people around you, but you're happy. Okay, there are no questions. So it's not making you feel good. It can't be making you feel good and you have a question about it. So there's more to it than that. So sometimes the burst of emotion, it's like you go to a party and it's noisy, and so you make even more noise in order to dull the noise that's so there is a dissonance. There is an unhappiness with a certain situation, an unhappiness with yourself. And so the emotion might sort of put a blanket, like a big snowfall. All right, it just covers everything. You know, okay, everything is white. So that's familiar. Okay. In a way, I don't need to look at anything. I can just blow up, or whatever. So it works that way, in that at that moment, you just yelled louder than everybody else, and you're having your tantrum, and for that, at that moment, everything else is off. All the other, volume knobs of the other stations are down, they're down, but there is a span to that. At some point, you come to the end of your emotional outburst, right? And all these volumes, all these other issues are now in abeyance, they're quiet and so on, but nothing is being resolved. Not only nothing has been resolved in that now they're singing different tunes. She's really loony, for example. You better stay away from her. She's really loony, and that's. But also, you are feeling unhappy with yourself. At some level, you're not happy. So, as you said, an addiction, it's like taking a drink. All sorts of issues in my life, at work and so on, but at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever, I go and I have, 5 martinis, whatever. I forgot everything about my boss and so on and so forth. I'm happy here. I don't know what I'm talking about with somebody, with the barman or whoever, bartender. Okay? But that has a limit to it. That has a limit to it. If there was no limit to it, then you're under a bridge somewhere, you're standing asking for $1 so you can buy the next drink. So right. So although the addiction works in dulling the situation. It doesn't really give you any happiness. It doesn't really give you any happiness. So your question is how to deal with that.
It's not just anger, it's like I'm attracted to men that are not good to me,
Yes.
good for me. And it's like, I've been with this one man for about 7 years, and I keep going back knowing that, but it's like I want it. I want to hurt myself. And, but it's all deeply rooted with this feeling, pleasure and a feeling that leads me. And I've had good opportunities that I've just ignored all my life. And I know it's psychological way back, but I guess what I want to do is I want to stop hurting myself. And it's like I know the truth, but I don't want it.
Yeah. Well, you need to know yourself what you are. I mean, to believe yourself to be whatever you believe yourself to be, a woman, whatever, a person, whatever you believe yourself to be, that's not what you are. So you're talking about the dream character, and you want the dream character to be happy. But you need to understand what I'm saying for yourself. You need to understand it, not just understand my words. So you need to see it. You need to see that basically you are living. You're talking about the dream character's happiness. And the dream character will only be happy if you wake up to the dreamer, if you wake up to your true nature, if you wake up to the reality of consciousness. Because it is consciousness that is dreaming the dream character. But if you believe that the reality is the reality of the dream character, then that's where your unhappiness is sourced, resides. It resides in your belief that the dream character is real, and so you are in a contraction already. You are in a limitation already. You are embodied. You are in a mortal body-mind experience, and a mortal body-mind experience is inevitably unhappy, whether it's unhappy in relationships like you're describing, or unhappy at work, or unhappy with their finances, God knows, or unhappy with a lot of things. And it's to be talking about the happiness of the dream character is like going to watch the magician that's cutting the lady in half and talking about how we're going to give her mouth resuscitation to make her survive after the magician cuts her in half. He's actually not. So you need to contemplate, not just what is happening on the screen, but what is it that's perceiving whatever is happening on the screen. You need to look at your identification.